Hey up everyone, hope we're all doing well. In case you've missed it, there's been a massive debate all over the internet, and that's whether 100 men would be able to beat one gorilla in a fight. And this got me thinking, what if it wasn't just 100 random blokes? What if it was 100 UFC fighters from the past and the present? So that does mean I am going to name 100 UFC fighters who I would put in a team to take on one gorilla. And just keep in mind, I did this off the top of my head and it took me about 15 or 20 minutes. So if there's some stinker names in there, I am very sorry. I was just thinking off the top of my head. And before we assemble the best men for the job, if you do enjoy MMA content, make sure to drop a sub. I would appreciate it an absolute ton. Starting off, we have one of the scariest men in the history of being on this planet, and that is Francis Ngannou at number 1. The reason to why, while he's very powerful. Then we have Tom Aspinall. The reason I've gone for Tom Aspinall, again, he's got such a short fight time because he's just knocking everyone out in the very first round. Why wouldn't you have this guy? After this, we have gone with John Jones. I would appreciate it if he was on the juice for this one, just to help a performance. If not, whatever. But yeah, John Jones at number 3. Hopefully he's on some sort of PED as well. After this, we've gone for Brock Lesnar. Yes, he isn't the most skilled, but grappling-wise, aura-wise, Brock Lesnar's got to be there. He comes in at number 4, and again, I hope he's on some peds as well. After this, Mark Hunt. That guy could knock out anyone and had a great chin, was a wide boy, thick Samoan boy. I love Mark Hunt, and he's got to be a part of this team. I don't think a gorilla could take a clean shot from Mark Hunt. I'm just being honest. After this, in 6th, we've gone with Cain Velasquez. I don't think a gorilla is going to out-cardio Cain Velasquez. Just pointing it out there. In 7th place, we've got a juiced Alistair Overeem. A juiced Alistair Overeem is one of the scariest guys going. He had muscles on top of muscles and was a very elite striker. Good luck to the gorilla on this one. After this, at number 8, we have Prime Stipe Miocic. Let's just put it out there. Most fighters who are list, it's going to be the prime version of themselves. I want the best version of them. So a Prime Stipe Miocic, a very well-rounded heavyweight, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. He has got to be there. After this, Alex Pereira. It's got to be Alex Pereira. I don't think that gorilla will see that left hook coming from Alex Pereira. I'm just going to say it. I think a gorilla put up a good fight. Maybe has a good chance against Alex Pereira because his chin's a bit sus, but he's not taking a clean left hook from Alex Pereira, in my opinion. In 10th, Anthony Johnson, one of the hardest hitters I've ever seen. Rest in peace. What a great fighter he was. 13-second KO over Glover Teixeira. Crazy stuff. Good luck to that gorilla. After this, we have DC in 11th. Now, this could be a lot of heavyweight DC. This could be heavyweight DC. It's however you view it. Regardless, we're getting DC on there because he would be a great addition. After this, we have Conor McGregor in 12th. You know, he would talk some smack to the gorilla, maybe get in his head a bit, and also he was a very skilled striker and had stupid power. Not only that, we go on to 13th. Marlon Moraes, and specifically first round Marlon Moraes, because first round Marlon Moraes was such a fucking nightmare. Good luck to that gorilla surviving that first round with Marlon Moraes. After this, we go with 14th, and we've gone for Shane Carwin. Many of you may not know who Shane Carwin was, but I think all of his wins, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure all of his wins came by first round knockout. This guy was an absolute unit. Beat the piss out of Brock Lesnar when they had a fight and Brock Lesnar subbed him. But regardless, he was a fucking unit back in his day. We've then gone with the most violent man in MMA history, Justin Gaethje. He has a bit of autism as well, so that helps the case to take on a gorilla. I am happy with that. That'll be an absolute car crash. We then go with Prime Edson Barboza. He was so explosive, flying knees, kicks. That gorilla ain't eating shit off Edson Barboza, a prime Edson Barboza. He was so scary back in his prime. Then we go for Dustin Poirier, a very safe bet. If you want someone to back your corner in a bar fight, it's going to be Dustin Poirier, and in this instance, it's going to be a fight against a gorilla. You would definitely want Dustin Poirier there before he retires. After this, we go with Khamzat Chimaev. I don't think this gorilla's been living in Dagestan for 2 or 3 years. I don't think he knows how to defend a takedown. So therefore, Khamzat, a guy who's able to 10-8 Kamaru Usman in the first round by just using his grappling, I think Khamzat's going to have an absolute fucking... he's going to absolutely ragdoll that gorilla, especially in the first round. We then move on, and we have Dricus du Plessis. He's built like a brick shithouse. He's unorthodox. The gorilla's not going to read any patterns from DDP because he never knows what he's going to do himself. A bit of tism as well. DDP, powerful man. You definitely want DDP there in this gorilla fight. After this, I've gone for a juiced Johnny Hendricks. Now, many of you may not know who juiced Johnny Hendricks is, but Johnny Hendricks, when he was on the sauce, oh my god, he was an absolute fucker, and I feel like the gorilla would struggle with him. Next up, in 21st, we have a prime Robbie Lawler. Mate, the dog in him, how much dog that prime Robbie Lawler possessed is absolutely crazy, and I don't think a gorilla has more dog in him than fucking Robbie Lawler. Next up, we have Nick Diaz in 22, and we have Nate Diaz in 23. We have the Diaz bros. How is it a gorilla going to react when they get Stockton slapped or a middle finger? I don't think they'll take it that well. And obviously, you know the whole thingy where it's about, oh, for Diaz bros, if rounds don't exist, they'll beat anyone. Well, maybe they can beat a gorilla if rounds don't exist. Now we move on to 24, and we have a prime Jose Aldo. If the gorilla tries to take down Aldo, good luck. He has great takedown defense, and in his prime, he was an absolute fucker on the feet. I wouldn't like to be that gorilla in that circumstance. After this, we have gone with a prime TJ Dillashaw, who's also on the sauce as well. Prime TJ is one of the most fun fighters I've ever witnessed in my entire life. I would love to see him in there against a gorilla. Now, we go with 26. And that is prime Cody Garbrandt. Even though it might have only lasted 25 minutes, I think that's more than enough to be able to chin that gorilla. Of course, he's got to watch out because of his own chin, not the best. But still, I have a lot of faith in a prime Cody Garbrandt. 27, and I wish I listed him sooner. Yoel Romero. Oh my god, could you imagine this? I actually have a feeling that Yoel Romero on his own could possibly take on one gorilla. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but that guy, he's almost 50 years of age and he's just so athletic and just a different freak of nature. Can't get sparked out or anything. He is absolutely mental. After this, we've gone with Anderson Silva, like the Neymar of MMA, the Ronaldinho of MMA, the trickster. He would showboat and he would show out against a gorilla. After this, we move on to the greatest welterweight of all time, GSP. The fight IQ, the gorilla wouldn't have shit to handle the fight IQ of GSP. And not only that, he's completely well-rounded. Things you love to see. At number 30, we've gone to Demetrius Johnson. Now, this is the smallest person we have gone for so far. He is a flyweight. He is very small. Well, that fight IQ, man, it's something else. And we've got other big boys to make up for it. So I think chucking a few small people here and there, you know, maybe they can work their magic. DJ, I want him there. Next up, 31. Volkanovski. Volkanovski needs to be there with the leg kicks. Not only that, how fast he is. And his fight IQ as well. The last three people I picked, GSP, DJ, and Volk, all have some of the best fight IQs I've ever seen in MMA history. And 32nd, Max Holloway. I've gone for Max Holloway, and I'm telling you now, if Max Holloway points to the ground in the center of wherever this fight takes place, good fucking luck to the gorilla. No way is he duking it out with Max Holloway and coming out on top. 33rd, we've gone with Petr Yan, obviously my favourite fighter of all time, and my god, Petr Yan would absolutely cause havoc on the gorilla. I don't think a gorilla could do what he did to Corey Sandhagen, just completely outclass him on the feet. Petr Yan was able to do so. Petr Yan has got to be there. Next up, we have Sean O'Malley in 34th position. Sean O'Malley, very slick, very rangy, and very powerful on the feet. And not only that, he stands out as well. So maybe if you want to make him at the front, put him at the front of the queue, or however you attack this gorilla, put him at the front. You know, he stands out. Maybe it can be a bit of a distraction for that gorilla with his colourful hair and those crazy tattoos that he possesses. Next up, we have Ilia Topuria. Aura farming. This is just clear aura farming, and the combinations and power of Ilia Topuria. I think it'll be too much for the gorilla, if I'm being completely honest. Next up in 36, we have Islam Makhachev. Potentially could go down as one of the greatest to ever do it if we see how his career ends out. And I think it'll be too much for that gorilla. Imagine the duo of Ilia and Islam taking on that gorilla. It will be absolute scenes. Then we move on. Belal Muhammad. Now, we wouldn't be actually using Belal Muhammad as like a fight. He'll kind of be like a scapegoat, because he'll be like a tranquilizer. He's that boring, he could possibly put the gorilla to sleep, and that's what he'll be used for. We won't need his fighting capabilities, because, let's be honest, they're very fucking boring. But then we moved on to 38. Chuck Liddell, a prime Iceman, the Mohawk. You ain't knocking him out. He's going to knock you out. He had stupid power. That gorilla is fucked. 39. Rashad Evans, a very slick striker, had a good grappling as well, and I thought he was undersized for the light heavyweight division, and of course, going into a fight against Gorilla, he's going to be undersized again, but he was used to that throughout his entire career, so I think that is good experience. After this, I have gone for Fedor. I'm so sorry I didn't mention him earlier when I was mentioning all these other heavyweights, but I am going to mention Fedor Emelianenko. I didn't watch much of Fedor, but I know that guy was always aura farming. Fair play to the chap. I appreciate it. We all love a good aura farmer. Next up, I've gone with Kevin Randleman. That's mainly because of that slam I'm pretty sure he got against Fedor as well. Iconic stuff, and for that moment alone, he gets in this fight against a Gorilla. Because could you imagine the scenes if Kevin Randleman got that slam on a Gorilla? It would be viral. It would be all over social media. Next up at 42, we have Carlos Prates. Yes, he loves to smoke, but I don't care because he's going to smoke that Gorilla as well. He may have just lost, but we don't care about that. Next up, Gene Silva at 43. You can imagine how the rest is going to go. 44, Mauricio Ruffy, and 45, Barallo. The entire fighting nerds to take on this Gorilla would be very necessary, and who knows, maybe they can stick one of their signature glasses on the Gorilla and take a selfie with him. That'll be pretty cool. Now we move on to 46. A prime Tony Ferguson. Oh my god. This is a match made in heaven. Ferguson going up against a Gorilla. I believe he could do it on his ones, but adding to this team, they are unstoppable. Next up, 47. We've gone for a woman. We have gone for Amanda Nunes. She possesses some power. She's almost like a bloke with how much power she possesses. Great striking ability as well. And the next one we move on to, similar to her, Chris Cyborg. Obviously, they duked it out and Amanda Nunes came up top, but they aren't fighting together. They are fighting they aren't fighting against each other. They're fighting together against the Gorilla this time out. 49, Josh Emmett. One of the hardest hitters I've ever seen. Certainly probably the hardest hitter I've ever seen in the 145 division. He's got to be in there. And now we get to the halfway point. Number 50. The Gorilla himself. Darren Till. It's a match made in heaven, man. The Gorilla takes on the Gorilla. Who is the best Gorilla? The one from Liverpool? The Scouser? Or the one from the jungle, I'm imagining. Yes, Darren Till takes on this Gorilla, and can that Gorilla dodge the straight left of Darren Till? I'm not entirely sure. Now we go to 51, maybe a bit of a questionable this one. I've gone with Bob Sapp. Bob Sapp didn't have that dog in him, but he was intimidating as fuck if you looked at him and didn't look at his fights. He looked very intimidating, and for that reason alone, we've got Bob Sapp in that fight. I don't actually think he fought in the UFC, same goes for Fedor, but this was off the top of the head. I am going to cheat a tiny bit. Now, 52, Cub Swanson. You've got to love Cub Swanson. So I have gone with Cub Swanson for 52. And I'm going with a prime Cub Swanson. Super fun to watch. Very unique, very versatile. How can you not want him in the fight for this one? Next up, we have gone for a prime, the Korean Zombie. I don't understand how a Gorilla's going to react when he hears the walkout song of Korean Zombie. And Korean Zombie was very slick in his prime. After this, we've gone with Yair Rodriguez, and I did think about that knockout over the Korean Zombie that he had. Slick as fuck, very versatile, very unpredictable, a lot of good kicks. Yair Rodriguez needs to be there. Next up, Frankie Edgar. Unfortunately, a victim of the Korean Zombie, but he did beat Yair Rodriguez. But Frankie Edgar was very undersized for the lightweight division. How he was able to win a lightweight title is absolutely fucking beyond me, I'll be completely honest. But we've got to have Frankie Edgar there, simply because he's got that dog in him. You need some fighters in there for that dog in him. And same goes with Pantoja at 56. Got that dog in him, can go at a stupid pace all night long. This Gorilla is not outlasting Pantoja. After this, we stay with a Brazilian brother, and that is Davison Figueiredo, who has stupid power in his hands, and I believe Figueiredo, even at 125, will be able to knock out this Gorilla. After this, we have the Mexican chin himself, Brandon Moreno, with slick boxing, and this Gorilla ain't knocking out Brandon Moreno with that unreal chin that he possesses. At 59, we have Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. The range he's able to use is it's astronomical. I don't know if I use the right context that word there, but I don't care. You know what I mean? His range on his opponents is fantastic, and the way he's able to use his strikes as well is absolutely beautiful to watch. Same goes for the next person at 60, Michael Venom Page. And if he shows up and does his gesture of the snake, up in the air. The Cobra, should I say? Who knows? Maybe that distracts a gorilla and he thinks there's a snake in the town, a part of the team. Who knows? That could be a possibility. Number 61, Kamaru Usman. Taking what from who? The gorilla's taking fuck all against Kamaru Usman. We then go on to number 62, Israel Adesanya. I don't know how this gorilla will react when he sees all the feints from Israel Adesanya. I think that would really fuck his head and he would be biting on a lot of feints. 63, a bit different to Adesanya. Marab, that dog in him won't stop going. And he has a bit of tism as well, which definitely helps. So then we go on to 64, which is his mate, Aljamain Sterling. We need someone who could take the back of the gorilla. Aljamain Sterling, great at backpacking opponents. So, of course, he needs to be on the team. Next up at 65, we have Zabit. We're pulling him out of retirement. We're saying, listen, mate, you're no longer the biggest what if, because for this day, you're going to take on a gorilla. I don't know how the gorilla would take on a Zabit who's in his prime form in the very first round. 66, doesn't have as much hype now. Peyton Talbot. I had to go with Peyton Talbot. He's best mates with Frank Ocean. Hopefully Frank Ocean doesn't show up to this fight because he would certainly get mauled by the gorilla, even with 100 UFC fighters there. 67. I've gone with Joe Pyfer. Guy puts on some good combinations, and not only that, he does pack a fucking punch. After this, Jorge Masvidal 2019 edition. I'm telling you right now, that gorilla is not taking a flying knee from Jorge Masvidal. But now we moved on to 69. Ben Askren. Now I know everyone's going to laugh at this, and I understand why he got knocked out by Jake Paul in boxing, and his UFC tenure didn't go to plan. But he was still a very good grappler. Okay? Maybe if, you know, he's one of the last few to come in there after a lot of people have done their job, and he just jumps onto a leg and does this thing. Maybe starts squeezing the leg dead hard, sort of like he did against Robbie Lawler, but of course he used the head. Number 70, Colby Covington. Why Colby Covington? Yes, his resume is full of washed fighters, but I don't care. We need another scapegoat. I really think if Colby Covington started talking for about 30 seconds, this gorilla would be like, fuck this, I need to get him out of here. Sort of like real life. I think the gorilla would be able to go and take on Colby Covington, using as a distraction. He is the official scapegoat. 71, Paulo Costa Bohachina, an absolute unit, built like a brick shithouse, and in his prime had so much confidence, was able to walk down Yoel Romero in an absolute banger, which was like King Kong versus Godzilla, I'll be completely honest. 72, a UFC prospect, Oban Elliott. You know, we need to show off some young talent. Oban Elliott, I want to show him off against a gorilla, get his name out there. 73, Michael Bisping. Now, I know that he's older now and has one eye, but I do think, you know, he needs to let his steam out a bit and let it off on that gorilla. And I think he does have a decent fight IQ. So I'd like to see Bisping there in the fight. Get him an itch for fighting again. I think that'll do him a great job. Next up, Luke Rockhold. Now, if the gorilla touches his chin, it's wraps. It's officially over. However, Luke Rockhold, those leg kicks were crazy. Good grappling. He was a bit of a, you know, a slick bastard, let's be honest. He comes in at number 74. Number 75, Chito Vera, tough as fuck. Doesn't offer much offense, but durability-wise, he is a fucker. Good luck taking him out. 76, Cowboy Cerrone. I don't know if a gorilla will be able to take a clean head kick from Cowboy Cerrone, so he's got to be here. 77, Minal Cap, a good little shithouse. Yes, he's a flyweight. I don't care. Great striker. You know, a bit like Neymar as well when it comes to striking, with just showing off and being a little shithouse. And he does talk some trash. We then move on. 78, I should have mentioned him sooner, but I didn't. Derek Lewis. Good luck taking a punch from Derek Lewis, my friend. I feel sorry for you, gorilla. In 79th, we have Volkov, rangy, you know, improved a lot recently. I think at range, Volkov would do a great job. Number 80, Sergey Pavlovich. I think Sergey won't be able to get outstruck by the gorilla, but he does pack a good punch, and not only that, he does offer a lot of volume at times as well. Number 81, a British man, Jimmy Manuwa. Why not Jimmy Manuwa? Possessed a lot of power, you know, he was a bit older in age, a bit more mature, you know, a bit more settled down. Jimmy Manuwa, a part of the team. 82, Yuri. Why Yuri Prohaska? Come on, guys. One reason only. The autism. Good luck out autism. Ing. Yuri Paska. That's not going to happen. After this, Jamal Hill. Good boxing, good power. I would love to see it. Maybe the gorilla could create an excuse for Jamal Hill to latch onto and cry about if he did lose. Next up, 84, Khalil Roundtree. Very explosive. Just such a fucker to deal with. 85, JDM. Got that dog in him. Even if he breaks one of his bones, he's still coming for you. And he has great boxing and good combinations. 86, Shavkat Rakhmonov. Could the gorilla be the first one to defeat Shavkat? I don't believe so. And he comes in at number 86. 87, controversial one, but he is still my boy. Leon Edwards. You want someone to go to a decision and wear out this gorilla? Just outstrike him at range comfortably, and when he ties up, maybe he gets a nice little elbow and knee in there. I think we need Leon in here, you know, clip farming as well with his headshot dead intro as well. 88, the guy who just absolutely bummed him, Sean Brady, and hopefully Sean Brady could, you know, take that bumming that he did against Leon Edwards and do it on the gorilla instead. 89, Uriah Faber. Now, he has a double chin, so hopefully that could distract the gorilla, and the gorilla thinks, oh, you know, that's a nice horse he's got on his chin, and go for Uriah Faber. I'm sorry you are a bit of a sacrificial lamb, Uriah Faber, but we need a few of them on the team. 90, Chad Mendes. Built like a brick shithouse for a small guy, possessed a lot of power and was quite well rounded, and his cardio was a bit sus, but still, I need him there. 91, another woman. The smallest woman on here as well, Jessica Andrade. She does pack a punch, she does come forward, and she does have a good chin, so she's got to be here with the Broski Bros. Number 92, Vitor Belfort, but on TRT. I don't really need to justify this. TRT Belfort was one of the best mythical fighters of all time. 93, what no? It's Vanderlei Silva, the axe murderer. Oh my god, back in Pride, he was aura farming. In the UFC was a bit shit, but back in Pride, he was such a bastard to deal with. Next up, Chael Sonnen. I can't let you get close. And that's exactly what he would say to the gorilla, and the gorilla won't be able to get close. The greatest, undefeated, undisputed Chael Sonnen comes in at number 94. 95, we're almost there, guys. Joaquin Buckley, maybe chat some shit to the gorilla, get in his head a bit, and then potentially knock him out, especially if the gorilla is quite older. We know that Buckley's been on a great streak against the older lot recently. Coming in at 96, Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland doesn't like grapplers, and if we're able to nullify the grappling of the gorilla, I think Kevin Holland would do a great job against the gorilla, especially always talking shit as well. Number 97, Henry Cejudo, kind of a sacrificial lamb, even though he does have a lot of talent. We need someone cringy, possibly to take on and be a sacrificial lamb for the gorilla. 98, you know, I don't know why I mentioned this guy and why he came up in my head. Gokhan Saki. I think he had like 2 fights in the UFC. He went 1-1 and was some unreal kickboxer, but when it came to the UFC, he wasn't unreal and he got smoked, I think, by Khalil Roundtree. But in that first fight, he looked promising. We got to chuck in Gokhan Saki, Mr. Bloke. Wonder what he's doing nowadays. But regardless, 99, James Vick. Yeah, James Vick. I know he's got an awful chin. So yeah, another sacrificial lamb, unfortunately, but you need some of them, lads. And then we get to the last one, 100, to finish this amazing team. Charles DuBlanc! It's got to be Charles Oliveira. The clip farming that this guy possesses, the comeback story of this guy's career, the bleached hair, it's perfect to end off on Charles Oliveira, and that is the team I believe will be able to take on one gorilla. I don't think the gorilla would have a fucking chance against this team whatsoever, but let me know in the comments, do you agree with my team? Do you think it'll be unstoppable against one gorilla? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.